Hello, everyone. My name is Tina. I am an online business coach, and I am going to share today exactly what I will do if I had to start my business completely from scratch in 2025 after building a seven-figure business in the last year. All while looking after my kids, my little ones. I have a 2-year-old and a almost 5 years old now. Uh, Running a full-time business. I am a photographer as well, and with a lot of things going on in her life. So let's get started. If I were, I honestly, I'm just gonna move my picture here so it's not on the way. If I had to start today completely from scratch, there are a few things that I will remain constant in doing, and there are some others that I will avoid. I have made a ton of mistakes. I have done a lot of it with self-learning and then through mentoring and experts. And there is a lot of experience in the learning curve. So I'm going to make this, I'm trying to shorten the curve for you today and share with you what I have been working on, what has worked and what it hasn't. If I lost my audience, my offers, my systems, and I had to rebuild everything completely from scratch, I'm going to share exactly what I will do without the fluff, without the games, without the hacks, and without all the scammy BS that you're probably seeing online right now. So I built this business from the ground up as a mom of two. Okay, I didn't just sit down and say, I have everything completely ready. I have my offers done. I have money to invest in paid advertising. I did it from my kitchen, pretty much. And that is just that is a a broad statement, because if you would have seen the size of my kitchen, you would have said, okay, it's also your living room. Long story short, I was running a photography business full time. I had two little ones. I was building a house. So we were living in a temporary accommodation on site. And I didn't have the answers. Okay. I didn't have all the answers. I have a background in marketing. I had been running my photography business for 7 years. So I had that background. But when it came to building something online, I was pretty clueless. And my training and my knowledge, it all came from consuming too many content from too many sources, which I will dive into a little bit later. But truth is, I wanted something different for my family. So I might have not known what I was doing, but I had my end goal in mind. I wanted something for my family and for myself. I didn't want to worry about how we were going to pay for the next bill, the electricity bill next month, and how the water bill was overdue, and how the construction loan was just almost finishing and our house was not even halfway through it. So money was tight. But I wanted to build something for us. Um, and I think that honestly, that's what kept me going when things started to get hard, because there were points that I wanted to burn the whole thing to the ground. Um, there was too much noise. I was consuming content on Instagram from people showing me all these different ways of doing business. And it will be a thing of, oh, this one is saying that I need to post 3 times a day. Okay, I'm gonna go and do that. Oh, this one is saying that I need to do more remixes on Instagram, so I'm just gonna go and do some remixes. This one is saying that I need to do more head talking videos. This one is saying, anyway, like this one says that you need to follow this many accounts a day. And I was doing the whole thing, and it was just noise and confusion. And that almost made me quit. And I want to be clear about something. I was not the smartest person or the most experienced when it came to running an online business. And I fell a lot of times and I made a lot of mistakes, but I never gave up. And I think it comes down to that. This photo that you see here is one of the first videos that I posted on one of my first attempts of I'm going to create an account to to actually teach people something. And that was in my little makeshift house where we used to live a year ago. And I remember, I wish I could have filmed the back of it. I had my baby having a snack, and she was on the other end of the camera on this little narrow hallway, and she was having snacks, and she was full of blueberries. And here I was just filming B-roll, because mama wanted to do something for her and her family. So it was a mess. It was a mess, but we went through it. We went through it, and it's a phase that we all have to go through. So I'm going to share one of the things that I went wrong from the start. I hyper focused on a lot of things on Instagram, on my account. So I will be tweaking my bio for the 100th time. Add this emoji, or maybe just put this call to action, or and let me tell you something. If you are running an online business already, and if you're tweaking, if you find yourself tweaking your bio or tweaking your highlights constantly, it's because there are deeper issues. Okay, that is just a reflection of everything that is happening in the background. And I started feeling completely burned out. I started feeling confused. I started feeling that I was not made for this. That who the heck? Who did I think I was doing this thing? Like, I was a photographer, I was a mom. I came to Australia 14 years ago as an immigrant. Like, English is not even my first language. And here I was trying to teach people how to do this bloody thing. So I was like, okay, how on earth am I meant to do this? But the moment that I stopped copying what every single guru was telling me, the moment that I started filtering all this advice and seeing it through the lens of what do I think is important to me? What are my goals? What are my values? And what is the business that I actually want to build for me, for my family? Once I started like applying that filter of taking my like my space, my mind, call it, I don't know, I call it filter, but once I started filtering everything first through what I thought it was valid, everything changed because I took myself as the almost like as the enacting part of this equation. Like, I was in control, I was filtering information, and it didn't come from a place of I don't know what the heck I'm doing to okay, this is where I want to go. So I'm going to find a way of building that. Okay. So some people are going to recommend that you post 101 times a day, that you do lives every day. And that day in, day out hustle mentality, honestly, is not for me. So if you're part of perhaps a movement where that is the that is the mentality and the vision, this is not the place for you probably to be. And you're welcome to jump out of this video right now. The decision to build a business must come from the decision to align your life and your values with what you're going to create. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're building something solely on strategy, you are going to find a lot of roadblocks that you can easily avoid if you start listening to what you have inside. So a strategy without self-awareness is useless. Okay? If you put all the heavy weight of what you're doing in the hacks, the trends, and the teachings of how your systems must work without listening to the very thing that you have in here first, you're going to waste a lot of time until you get yourself hit with the reality that you perhaps are building something that is not meant to be for you and that is not going to work with the current lifestyle that you have. So, for example, if I were to build a business while caring for my two children the entire time, and it involved filming these elaborate videos and stylish luxury whatever things that I wanted to do. Like, that's not something that I could maintain. Like, how am I going to record that with kids running around? So I needed to find a format that actually resonated with the life that I had and with the time that I had, which most educators and programs miss. They sell you a dream, they sell you their blueprint, and turns out that their life is completely different. Um, it took me a few months of banging my head against the wall and understanding that I was trying to build something that it was not for me. And not because I couldn't have it or I was not capable of achieving that, but because that was not my life. And most importantly, that's not what I actually wanted to build. Like, it's easy to let yourself get carried away by the noise of social media and all the creators out there. And everyone, I want to think that they mean well in their own way, but enforcing one's way on someone else as the only true way of achieving X result is by far the most irresponsible thing that you can do as a course creator, as an educator, as a creator in general, because everyone's life is different. Your priorities are completely different from mine. We might have things in common, but you are most likely looking for very specific things to your lifestyle. And the idea that I'm going to teach how to build a business based on solely my approach and my systems and my copy paste cookie cutter strategy, it wouldn't serve you and it wouldn't be honest to you. So when I decided to create my program, Elevate, that was the first thing that I had at heart, that this was a system, a roadmap of sorts that you could actually create to build your own business based on you, on what you wanted to do, based on your life, based on your time, based on your gifts, your priorities, everything. Something that you could actually build for yourself. Not trying to replicate Tina's business because she made $1 million, even though like your life might be completely different. Like you might be a shift worker with 8 kids and you just can't do the same thing. Like, and for you, it's going to look different. Maybe you have a ton of time, you have more time than me, and you can actually create something way more complex. That's entirely up to you. So that's why I designed that program in the first place. I'm going to go now. And I'm going to start with the first one. So the first thing that I will do if I were to rebuild my whole business in 2025 is that I will start with the why. And the why, I know it sounds like such a big cliche. And when I was creating this presentation, I was kind of reluctant in a way to put it because I hate cliches and corny speech, but hear me out. The why is what is going to keep you going when everything goes. I was gonna say, I'm pausing myself in saying bad words because I have a little kid that starts repeating everything. So I'm like, I keep catching myself. When everything but everything can go wrong, everything that can go wrong goes wrong. Your why, your purpose, your mission, that's what is going to keep you going. When you post reels nonstop and or videos on TikTok or whatever you're posting, and you're stuck in the 200 views jail, that's what's going to keep you going. When you get your first client and perhaps for some reason you don't get a good review or you get a refund request, your why is what is going to keep you going. When you have a really good month in sales and sales start slowing down and you can't figure out what the heck's going on, your why is going to keep you going. And also, because before you start thinking about what niche you're going to work on, how your branding is going to look, how your logo is going to look, how your posts are going to look, I want you to think and I want you to ask yourself, what business I want to create that supports the life I desire? What do you want? I want you to ask yourself, do you want more flexibility? Do you want more impact? Do you want more time to finally go back to the gym and exercise? Do you want to be able to go out with your loved ones? Like, I don't know if you have kids or not, but like if you have kids, you want to be able to spoil your kids when you want to. Not every time they want a toy. Do you want to be able to treat your mom to saying, hey, I'm just gonna pick you up and we're gonna go to the hairdresser and we're gonna get everything done. Or I'm going to tell my husband that I'm going to order takeout today just because I have that bit more room. How does that look like to you? And having that made a huge difference for me because things got hard a lot of times and they will. That's the business. The getting hard is and difficulties is the business. But having that why changed everything for me because I went from I'm going to create this account to see how it goes and see if people actually like my reels and maybe I will have to dance. Maybe I will have to do lives to I have a house to build and a loan that is running out and I have two little mouths to feed and a husband that is working a 9 to 5 and coming back home to build our house. and I need to make this happen. That was my why. That was, I am going to make this happen for them and for myself. And when I made it happen, I realized that this is something that I'm not going to say, I'm not going to give you this scammy speech of you need 2 hours a day and a stable internet connection, but this is something that anyone who can dedicate the time and who has the grit to commit to it can create, because the systems are there and the knowledge is there. Okay, after that motivational speech. Okay, number two. Number two is build or at least conceptualize your offer. So you might be thinking, okay, so but how am I going to create my offer if I don't even know what I want to do? Before you go on a rant of creating an Instagram account or a TikTok account or LinkedIn, whatever, and you start creating content without having at least, that's what I'm saying, conceptualize at least, without having a clear direction of, okay, maybe this is a type of solution or product or service that I want to create. More content is going to mean more noise because you don't know what you're going to be creating content about. When you have an offer or an idea what you want to create, you have very clear messaging, because everything you create in your social channels or every other channel that you're using to communicate, to reach your audience, is going to be related to that product or to that offer you create. So for example, if I am a beauty technician and I don't know what my product is going to be about, or I don't even know what I want to help people with, and I start posting just for the sake of posting. So I share pictures of my dogs, pictures of my house rental, pictures or videos of I'm sorry if you're a beauty technician, this is just an example, or a mental breakdown I had because someone pissed me off. Um, you're just going to you're going to create an audience that is not aligned with the thing that you actually want to create. And two, you're going just to confuse the heck out of everyone once you release something. So I'm not saying that you need a full suite of products created, but you need an idea, you need a direction. And I want you, if you're just starting out, this is if you're starting out, if you haven't created anything, I want you to focus on one product, also one offer, one problem that you can solve, one clear result that people can get out of that. Because that's going to be, think of it as the GPS for your content and for all the pieces of that you create on your email marketing or everywhere that you are communicating with people. It's all going to be related to that. And it's not, you're gonna think, sometimes you're gonna feel that you become repetitive, but it's going to be repetitive to you because you're seeing everything that you put out there. A lot of people, most people are not going to see, like most of your followers, if you create an Instagram account or TikTok, they're not going to see your content because it is not delivered to everyone. So focus on the one thing, one offer, one problem, one result. That is going to help your messaging a ton. When I first started thinking of doing like creating offers and products and so on, I will have like this little product here, this little guide over here, maybe, and I'll be like, okay, this is not working very well. So maybe I'm going to create another one and another one. And I just replicated the same problems that I haven't solved on the first one. I started just replicating it everywhere. Now, number three is that I will master my message. That is key. That is absolutely important. And you might have heard the term messaging and messaging, and I don't know if you're familiar with it or if you know what it's. When you create a piece of content, okay, let's say that you are in the wealth niche, so you're teaching people how to make money online, and what you think is, I want to teach people how to make money online, which is amazing, right? That's my niche. I have it all figured out. And your messaging sounds something like, if you want to achieve financial freedom, buy this course, or you only need 1 or 2 hours per day and post 3 to 5 second videos in social media to sell 1,000 plus per week or whatever. That's not speaking to anyone. Like, you might think that you'll be reaching a lot of people because you're being broad and it can apply to, but if you change that for something like, this is just from the top of my head and I'm probably going to suck at it, but here we go. You want to come home knowing that you don't have any outstanding bills waiting for you at the fridge. You want to be able to plan your holidays in advance and see your family that is waiting for you that you haven't seen in 3 years, because you have the flexibility of having a constant income. That doesn't mean you go to work every day and you don't even have time. You don't even have time to see your family. You are going to be that person, or you want to be that parent that doesn't have to say no to their kids every single time. All those people are looking financial freedom. All those people want to make more money. All those people will love to work for a short period of time and make a ton of cash. But you're talking to them in a different way because you know them. So that's step number 2, mastering your message. Step number 3, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Step number 4 now is that I will focus on one platform and one platform only. One offer, one platform, one funnel, one thing first. And this is what I was saying before. So when I started creating all those little products without solving the issues that I already had, what I was doing is that, yes, I was making some money from those products that I was creating, right? But I was just replicating the same issues that I was having on the first product that I created. Because if I hadn't solved that, I didn't know how to do that thing. That's the thing. You don't know how to do the thing, so you're just creating more of that. You may make some money and you think like, yeah, that's good. I'll just keep varying the products. But when it comes to actually scaling your business, you need to sort out your things first before you actually move on to the next stage. So focus on one solution, one product, one problem, one product first. Once you have that clear and you're like, okay, I know why I'm doing this. I have my messaging clear. I have my marketing clear. I know exactly how to sell it. My product is selling constantly. Is getting results from my audience, because that's important. You have tested your product. Side note here, if you ever create a digital product, a guide, a journal, a mini course, a course, whatever it is, and you've never sold a single damn thing in your life, test that thing first. Test your product first. So just go and find a group of 5 to 10 people who fit the description of your ideal client and say, hey, I created this. I would love for you to go through it, and I would love your honest review. 1, because that is going to serve for you to sell it, because you have reviews from people. And 2, it's going to allow you to test your product and to see if it works or what adjustments you can make. Side note over. Okay, let's go to the next one. And number 5 is I will invest in strategy and not in tricks. And this is what I mean. When I was following all these people, and you probably are following most of them anyway, I'm not gonna say names, but when I was following all these people, I was getting all this scattered advice that was not even rooted in the same values or the same lifestyle that I had. And so I was going for the hacks. So this is the hack on how I can get more reviews. This is the hack on how I can increase my traffic, my reach, grow my account. But I was not really following. I didn't have like a centralized point of view or resource or knowledge that I could draw from. I used to spend a lot of time on Google, on YouTube, on listening to podcasts, and I was trying to piece all the things together. So I was trying to make sense of it all. And I am a firm believer, and I'm going to tell you this right here. I am a firm believer that you can learn anything on your own. Anything. Okay, except maybe from brain surgery or something like complicated like that. But you just have to, you're going to pay either way. That's the thing. So you're going to pay either way. You're going to pay either with time or with money. And this is where I come to invest in strategy, not in tricks and hacks. Because what's going to happen is that you can either spend all your time on Google or on social media trying to gather information and make a ton of mistakes, or you can go through a roadmap or a system that has the steps you need to follow. And now what I'm going to tell you the next part is that I don't want you to buy something just because the person that is selling you the thing has made a lot of money, because I've made that mistake before. So I know I started this video with saying that I had built a 7-figure business. And I don't want you to go and work with me and purchase Elevate or any of my products because I have made that money. The person that you are going to invest in, the course that you're going to purchase or the mentorship or whatever it is that you seek, I want you to root everything in how this person's life, business model, philosophy, values, it's aligned with you. Because you're going to find yourself opening a Pandora's box when you go and you invest in something that is not aligned with who you are as a person, with the business you want to build, and with the lifestyle you have. And you're going to find a ton of strategies that are not even applicable to you. So that is super important. When I was in my self-learning phase and going through all these resources, I learned a ton, but I didn't know what was right and what was wrong. I didn't know how to discern, how to flesh out this information into like, okay, this is BS advice and this is actually good advice. And that cost me a lot. That cost me a lot of time. That cost me a lot of emotional distress, because I will try something and then I will find something else. I was like, oh, but this is conflicting with this thing that they're saying. So that's what I don't recommend, doing it all yourself for an extended period of time. And find someone who you truly align with and that help you build your business and take you through the stages. Not doing the exact same thing they did, but help you taking your unique business needs through the stages that they know work. I think that basically I built a program. When I built my course Elevate, I built a program that I wished would have existed when I first started, because I was so distracted by the fluff and the noise and everything that was happening online. And I was so stuck. And I was so stuck trying to create a strategy based on what everyone else was doing, instead of listening to what I had here, instead of listening to what I wanted to do, instead of listening to the things I knew I was good at. And that is exactly what I created Elevate, to help you doing that, to show you how you're going to look into what you already have inside and create a business that is rooted in that makes all the good parts and all the knowledge that you have even bigger and allows you to connect with people who actually need it. I'm going to show you something that I love, and I just had a hard time fitting everything here, but I have pages of these that I could share, but I wanted to show you some of the testimonies from the students that I have inside the course. And if you're watching this, and if you're one of them, thank you for watching this, and I love you all for the work that you're doing. I've had students that have come in saying, I just want to start a business. I have no bloody idea where I'm going to start. And we have started working completely from the ground up. Okay, so this is what is going to be your focus. This is what you're good at. This is what you love, what you feel passionate about. Okay, your strategy here, we need to adjust it a little bit, because technically you cannot be filming content 24/7. So we need to adjust this part. And for example, I have one of my students inside the course that I absolutely adore. And she's a woman who had invested in a lot of mentorships and courses in the past, and high ticket mentorships. And it's something that broke my heart when we first spoke, is that she told me that the people who she worked with before, there was a particular client that she always wanted to work with. Okay, she always wanted to work with a specific avatar, this specific client, and the coaches and everyone always told her, that client is not profitable, like you can't make money out of them, your systems are not in place, everything is a mess, or it's just like the things are not really organized. And she believed them. She believed them, and she didn't pursue that client and that business that she wanted to create. She doubted herself because the people she was paying money to was saying, "Okay, no, that's just BS. You cannot do it." And that happens, especially when you put your trust. That's what I'm saying. Be wise with who you choose to invest, especially when you have people you trust. And she let that sink for a long time, and then she joined Elevate. And she came to Elevate, honestly. We've had a chat about this, and she came to Elevate thinking that she needed Instagram strategy because I had grown my account to a very large number in a short period of time. So she was like, okay, I just need Instagram strategy. But the shift that she had was something completely different and unexpected. And we started actually working with that particular client, that avatar that every single coach had told her that she couldn't really serve or have a business that will give her profit. And I kid you now, within weeks, she signed her first deal that was 5 figures. And now she's gone from working with clients with projects that were between the $1,000 and $3,000 range to 5K projects, and she even signed a project that was 10K, all because she aligned her business with her systems and who she was. She didn't need more information, and or she didn't need to change who she was. She needed to work from a place of alignment and rooted belief in what she actually had to offer. I love her story. She didn't need more hustle. She just needed alignment and direction. And that's what she found inside the program. So if you're nodding your head right now, if you're thinking, yes, that's me, like, I feel seen. I feel seen. Maybe I feel my life is a mess, or that all my systems have been deemed unacceptable by everyone else. And or I've created a business that perhaps is not rooted in what I truly want to do. I want you to know that you can actually do this. And this is actually possible for you. And if you're going through a period where it feels like it's going downhill and like nothing is working, that is part of business, and you're going to face a lot of them. I've faced a lot of them. And I'm going to face a ton more. Otherwise, one is boring, and two, like, that's business, just figuring it out. Figuring out. I can't pronounce that word 9 out of 10 times. Figuring out the next step. So if this is you right now, and if this is what you're needing help with, I wholeheartedly invite you to join Elevate, because it's a beautiful program that is rooted in allowing you to help people with the real you and connecting you with everything that you have here and that you're ready to give. And yes, all the systems and how to sell and how to grow your account and how to create your products and all the technical part. And if you're not there yet, and you are perhaps just in the what the F is this? I'm just starting out. Follow me on Instagram under Tinna Loaiza Official. And if you're not part of the community, please join the community. I'm going to link everything. It's hosted on School. We have sessions with trainings, and there is a whole curriculum. That's another word. It's a whole curriculum there for you to start getting everything set up. Thank you so much for your time. I do not take your time lightly. I am very grateful that you're here today, and I will be speaking to you in the next video.